In this video, I'm going to tell you what is the wrong way of doing intermittent fasting, what is the right way of doing it. Do you really need to do the intermittent fasting to lose weight, or is there any other better way to lose weight? Plus, I'm going to tell you how exactly do you lose weight, why intermittent fasting makes you lose weight, and why do you hit the plateau on fasting. Let's get started. So first thing, how do people do this intermittent fasting the incorrect way? So if you are doing the fasting for 16 hours and you're eating just 8 hours, but if you're not eating the complete calorie requirement of your body, or if you're not, people are just focused on eating any kind of meal. They don't look at if that meal is going to fulfill my body's nutritional requirements, it is giving me all the nutrients, it is giving me all the good fat, is it giving me good protein. They are not looking at the ingredients of the meal, of the nutrition. They just want to fill their stomach, they just want to eat any meals in those 8 hours, which is mostly the carbohydrates. At least that's what Indians do. We eat roti sabzi, we eat dal chawal, we eat poha, we eat idli, we just eat carbohydrates, and that does not give us complete nutrition. So what we do is we eat in that 8 hour of window, and then we starve ourselves for the 16 hours, right? And in that 16 hours of window, you just try to push yourself, because I know you're very desperate to lose weight, because I was the same way. I did all these stupid mistakes, I did the worst kind of mistakes. I'll create another video for all the mistakes I did in my weight loss journey. So what people do is they starve themselves for 16 hours, right? So your body now slowly starts to eat its own self. Your body is going to lose weight, but that weight is not just going to be fat. That weight is going to be muscle and fat and lots of other issues. Maybe your bone density will reduce, maybe your immune system will get weaker, because now you're eating very less, plus that is nutrient deficient food. So it's really, now that I think you're getting the idea that it's not about eating less or eating in 8 hour of window. Weight loss is actually related to how nutrient dense your food is. That's why what happens is, if you consistently eat nutritionally imbalanced food in intermittent fasting, slowly your body is going to slow down your metabolic rate, because now it feels that there is lack of food, there's lack of energy coming in, so your body is automatically going to try to save that energy, and that's why your metabolic rate is going to reduce. That's why initially you seem to lose weight on weighing scale, but soon you will hit the plateau. You will not lose weight. You're doing everything, you're following that 16 hour of window, but now you're not losing weight. I'm sorry to say this, but yes, you have most probably slowed down your metabolic rate. Your body is now gotten used to of using lower calories. So if you break this diet, or if you eat something out of ordinary, or you eat something extra, then your body is immediately going to store it into fat. You are going to gain weight, because now your metabolic rate is very slow, because the solution was different all along. Intermittent fasting is not the way to lose weight. Then why does it work? It works because, see, and this is the root cause of weight gain. It is increased insulin levels. The more number of meals you eat, or the more number of carbohydrates you eat in a day, it raises your insulin levels, and that insulin makes you gain weight. That insulin makes you gain fat. And what this fasting does is, just because you're not eating any food, no matter it's not even carbohydrate, it's not even protein, you're not eating any food, so your body is forced to reduce the insulin. That's why you lose weight. So the solution was not fasting all along. The solution was reducing the insulin, which can also be done without forcing yourself to starve, without fasting, by just eating balanced foods. So how to reduce insulin without doing any kind of fasting or without starving yourself? Because hear me out. If you're fasting for 16 hours, now your body was forced to reduce the insulin, and now it is forced to burn the fat. That is also inefficient, by the way. You are also losing muscle if you're not eating the balanced meal. So your body is forced to reduce insulin, and it has started to burn fat. That is a good thing about intermittent fasting, right? But once you eat a meal after the fasting time, and it has the carbohydrates in it, imbalanced carbohydrates, there is no protein, you just eating dal chawal or roti sabzi or salads and any carbohydrates, it doesn't have lots of protein or good fats, right? So it is going to again raise your insulin levels, and you're back to square one. So what you're doing is, in that 8 hours of window, you're raising your insulin, plus you're not eating nutritionally balanced food, and in that 16-hour of window, you're forcing your body to reduce that insulin. What's the point of that? So it instead, if you just eat balanced food, like suppose for breakfast you eat just 2 eggs, 2 or 3 eggs, that's the best thing. It doesn't have any carbohydrates, so it doesn't raise your insulin. But if you want to eat carbohydrates, you can add 1 or 2 slices of bread, you can add one roti to it, 2 to 3 eggs. Only eat as much as you're hungry, and that is not going to raise your insulin much. If you eat just eggs, the best thing, you will not it will not raise your insulin. You can add lots of cheese to it, add lots of ghee to it, add lots of spices to it, it will not raise your insulin. So when you reduce your insulin naturally, because we have now removed the root cause which was raising the insulin, we have removed the carbohydrates from your breakfast. So now your body is slowly naturally going to go into the fat burning zone, because insulin is now getting reduced, because you're not adding more and more insulin by each meal. So the next meal after breakfast is lunch. So if you eat, I would give an example of chicken. If you just eat chicken and rice, or just chicken salad, if you're used to of that, but if you want to keep carbohydrates, you can add 1 slice of bread, one roti or bhakri, and some salads, and get good enough amount of chicken. Start with minimum 100 grams of boneless chicken. That is going to balance your meal, and that is going to reduce insulin. Instead, if you just had roti sabzi dal chawal, it will spike your insulin, it will spike your glucose level to much higher levels, it will add a lot of insulin to your blood, which is going to again store the fat. It is going to stop the process of fat burning. So again, you have to starve yourself for 16 hours and then force your body to reduce the insulin. Why do you want to torture yourself on daily basis? So if you really want to do the fasting that actually works or helps you to lose weight, or you don't even have to do the fasting, the solution is same, by balancing your meal with good quality protein and good fats. That way your body is not going to create much insulin, which will give your body the scope to reduce the fat, to reduce the insulin, in turn burn the fat. Because remember one thing, you are storing fat because your body has higher insulin level. That's it. That is the one thing you need to remember. If anything, that is the one thing you need to remember. Because think about insulin as a doorkeeper, it locks the doors to the fat cells. So as long as there is high insulin in your blood, you will not be able to burn that fat. That's why the only solution to weight loss is reducing insulin. That's it. So whether you force yourself to reduce insulin by starving yourself in intermittent fasting, or you balance your meals with good quality protein and fats, reduce the carbohydrates in your meals, it will naturally reduce. It will not even create that much insulin in the first place. So your body will get rid of the previous insulin from your body, and your body will now automatically go into the fat burning zone, because your body is much smarter than you are. Your body knows that it has excessive fat and it needs to reduce that fat, but just because you constantly keep adding a lot of insulin to your body because of the high carbohydrate meal, your body is not able to burn that fat. That fat is locked inside by insulin. So now that you are reducing insulin by balancing your meals, your body will automatically start to burn that fat. You don't have to force yourself. Your body is smart enough to take care of itself. You just need to give the ideal environment. So if you want to do fasting the right way, eat balanced meals and reduce insulin, so naturally your body is going to go into fat burning zone, so you will really not feel that much hunger in that 16-hour of window. Because now in that 16-hour of fasting, if your body needs energy, it is going to get that energy from fat. It doesn't have to eat itself up, it doesn't have to burn that muscle, it doesn't have to lose that muscle, because now you're easily able to lose that body fat. You are in fat burning zone. So it's a cherry on top. You're losing weight, already losing weight, reducing insulin because you're now eating balanced food, plus you're fasting. So your body increases the amount of fat it burns because you're not eating anything. That's why the right way to do fasting is, or the right way to lose weight. You don't have to do, as I said, you don't have to do intermittent fasting if you want to lose weight. The solution is the only one thing, which is reducing insulin by balancing your meals with good quality protein and good quality fats. So if you want to know what are good quality proteins, see, dal is not a good quality protein. No. Then what are the good quality proteins? If you want to know that, I'll put a link below this video for the protein sheet which I created. It has all the vegetarian, non-vegetarian protein, and it also has a list of good and bad fats. So that's it. I hope this video helps. I hope you stop torturing yourself. I hope you stop starving yourself. Feed your body the nutrition. Your body will reward you back with high energy levels, good mood, lot of hair, good skin, and overall healthy feeling. And the most important, weight loss.